You may want to consider shopping through Instacart this winter if you like watching snow more than walking in it, celebrate soup season, or own several pairs of fuzzy socks, because staying home means staying warm, and some days just scream delivery. So this season, get everything you need right from the comfort of your robe. Download the Instacart app and get delivery in as fast as 30 minutes. Plus, enjoy $0 delivery fees on your first 3 orders. Service fees, exclusions, and terms apply.
Hello, and welcome to Oldie but a Goodie. Now, did we want to delay the next episode a week? No, we didn't. But, Zach chose The Godfather, and, in doing so, knowingly picking a 3-hour movie, even though we had just done Rebel Moon less than a month ago, it is his fault that we are not releasing an episode today. It might also be my fault for picking that amongst all of the options that Zach had gathered, and it's also my fault for being too busy to watch The Godfather over the last week, but it is Zach's fault canonically. Just let that be known. Now, with that out of the way, yes, we are delaying episode 305 for another week, but don't worry, we'll be back very soon with our review of The Godfather. I'm really looking forward to that episode. It's going to be a very, very fun one. But in the meantime, just to tide you over until then, because we don't like going a week without any content. That's boring. Everyone wants content. That's why you're here. So here's some content for you. We mentioned this movie in our Silence of the Lambs review. This is a movie from the 80s called Mannequin. One of our first ever Patreon episodes from, 2021? I don't even remember what year we recorded this, but from quite a while ago, we recorded this one. This is a movie that we reference constantly because it's so freaking weird, and the episode's so fun. There's a lot of tangents in this one. This is not a very focused episode at all, but I hope you enjoy this review of Mannequin. If you want more episodes like this, patreon.com/oldie-but-a-goodie-pod. You can get them all there, including our new review on X-Men, but you'll hear a promo for that later, so I'm not going to talk about it. Anyway, here it is, Mannequin, and then The Godfather coming up next time. You come to me on the day of the Mannequin episode. That's part 2. That's not even part 1. Hey, Zach.
Oh, hey, Sandro. How's it going?
Yeah, good. Just popping in. I say popping in. We're on the call. We're getting ready to do a Patreon episode. You know what's going on.
Yeah, gotta do the Patreon. You just pop in. Why are you talking like that? Why are you being so weird?
I don't know, cause something really weird happened to me like half an hour ago.
Whoa, half an hour. That's really recent. Yeah, that's crazy. Just before we started recording, even.
Yeah. I was out walking the dog.
Oh, I was as well.
Oh.
Yeah.
How about that? Yeah.
Yeah. There's a bit of graffiti near my house, which is just a woo that someone's painted on like a piece of concrete. I need to take a picture of it and post it on Facebook.
That's pretty great.
About it.
That's pretty great.
Yeah. It haunts me every time I walk the dog. Anyway, sorry, back with your story.
Yeah, so I was walking down the street, and, where I live, you know that if someone's approaching you and they're eating something and drinking something with their 2 hands, they're probably going to be a little bit like, ugh, don't really want to talk to that person.
Yeah, a true scumbarian.
Yeah, exactly. To almost dox me. Yes, that is correct. We've mentioned it before, I think, anyway. So, this guy was coming up, and I was like, oh, no. This is why I don't, walk at this time of day, not to say when I was walking, it was late afternoon.
Yeah.
Anyway, he comes up and he's eating this packet of Scotch fingers, right?
Okay, hey, I love a good Scotch finger. Scotch fingers are delicious. Absolutely delicious.
So he walks up, and, he's walking in the middle of the road, right? I'm on the sidewalk, he's walking in the middle of the road.
Naturally.
As you would expect. He walks down the middle of the road, kind of stops in the middle of the road. He stops walking. He's standing still as I'm walking past, turns to me, and I'm like, oh, here we go.
Oh, boy.
And he says, you want a Scotch finger, mate?
I mean, what a gentleman.
It was great. And I was like, no, thank you. Because in my head, I'm like, there could be cocaine laced on those Scotch fingers. You don't know?
Yeah, you don't know. Look, As much as I do love Scotch fingers because they're great,
Yeah.
delicious almondy goodness, there could be some cocaine
Exactly.
just sprinkled in there, and you
sprinkled
know
on
what?
top.
I think that would ruin a Scotch finger.
I think it would. Well, I don't know. I'd try anything.
Yeah, look, maybe it'd improve it. I don't know, but I feel like I'm not willing to try it out from that one gentleman walking in the middle of the road.
No, exactly. Anyway, that was the story. That was a little story about how I narrowly
What did you
avoided.
say? Yeah, but what did you say?
I said, "Oh, cheers, mate," but nah.
Is that what you said?
I don't think that's exactly what I said. I was half like listening to music. I had to take one ear off to be like, "What'd you say?"
Yeah, he's like, oh, yeah, Scotch finger. Scotchy, and then he wiggles it around at you. And you're
He
like,
did. He did. He wiggled a Scotch finger around.
Yeah, see, I knew it. That's what you do. You wiggle it like you want one.
Exactly. Anyway, welcome to Patreon. Hello.
Yeah. It's where we go on tangents, talk about anything, because we can. It's not even a show. It's just ramblings of madmen.
No.
Posted for your pleasure.
Although, this is our first episode where people have voted on the topic.
That's true. Like the topic of, funnily enough, someone gave me some food the other day.
Oh.
Unexpectedly. So I was at work, and then one of our customers, he's a regular guy, comes through. And he was just chilling outside. So the road near my work is very busy. Extremely busy. Because of all the roadworks and stuff they usually do, and it's very congested. So I was chilling with my boys at work,
Yep.
doing our thing, and then I hear something from outside. I think it was a dog going berserk.
Okay.
And I came out, and I was like, what the hell? And as I came out, the dog magically disappeared or something, I don't know, but this dog was insane. And then there's this customer there, and he's eating a thing of chips, and he's like, hey, you want some chips? And I'm like, normally I wouldn't. I'd politely refuse. But I'd forgotten my lunch. So I was starving.
Yes.
And so normally in that situation, I just sit at work slowly starving to death, and then wait till I get home to just feast. But I was like, oh, well, I'll take a chip or two. You know what?
Little chippy.
I like a good chip. So I went over, took a chip, and he was like, cool, it's yours now. Pushed it into my hands. It's yours chips now. I don't want to eat any more of them. And I'm like, all right then.
All right.
So I got some chips for work. It was a good time.
Then you cracked open a can of 0% alcohol-free Carlton Draft.
Oh, yes. Or Heineken.
Or
It's a preference.
No, Carlton. No.
No. We got Heineken. We've got the mid-strength Asahis.
Ooh.
Maybe one of them.
That's still got alcohol in it, though.
Yeah. But Carls don't need it.
Anyway, what are we talking about on this boat? Oh, Mannequin.
Hey, Mannequin! Yeah, what an episode.
We should say thank you so much for subscribing to Dead Dad Club. We really appreciate it. You're keeping the show going.
Apart from the slow heat death of the universe, you're the real hero in this situation.
You are indeed. Although I have been reading Children of Dune this week, and that book kind of poses the fact that change on a planet can be good sometimes. I just wanted to bring up that I was reading Dune.
Yeah. No, that was a great segue into completely, talking about something different. How are you enjoying the Dune series?
It's good. I prefer the first book knowing what happens after, I think. I prefer... Because the first book ended and everyone was like, wow, what an epic tale. All the good guys won. And the author was like, that's not what I was trying to say at all. So he wrote 5 more books basically saying how bad the events of the first one were. He was like, they kind of messed up the whole universe.
Yeah. No, they plunged it into, economical turmoil and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's good.
Muad'Dib was not supposed to happen.
No.
This wasn't planned, so it puts all these things. Maybe the plans originally weren't the best, but they were still plans. What's the Muad'Dib comes in, he's like, those plants, get those, a yeet.
He eats them.
He eats the universe, and I really think that's the moral of the story. Beware the yeeters.
That is the moral of... You are correct.
Be the yeeter, not the yoted.
So ahead of its time, Frank Herbert knowing the yeeters were the real problem back in the 60s.
Be a yeeter, not the yoted.
Oh, Shakespeare.
Yeah. Quite a little bit of Shakespeare for you there. Little bit of ancient history.
Well, this bonus episode is going to be a bit longer than the last ones.
You can tell the coffee hasn't quite kicked in yet. Or has kicked in, one of the two.
So, we put up a poll, a bunch of movies that we've talked about this year that we were like, we might get around to them. And some of you voted for Mannequin. That's what we're going to kick off this episode with. That's this whole episode.
I just took a big swig of gin, just because I felt like it.
I should. I've got those, like, mercury crushed passion fruit ciders. I might open up one later on.
Oh, yeah. They are brutal. They're like 8.2%.
8.2? Yeah, they don't taste like passion fruit, though, so I'm very disappointed. They just taste like regular cider. Yeah.
Oh, that's so sad. I was excited when I saw them. I hadn't tried them yet, and I was like, oh, that seems exciting. Better than raspberry, at least.
Yeah, they are. The raspberry ones were a fun experiment, but no.
Yeah, they were way too sweet for me. So I was gonna test the waters with them. See if they're any good. I do love a bit of passion fruit.
I like passion fruit as well, yeah. I don't know, I think they're good if you want to get smashed.
Yeah.
And to be honest, who doesn't when you're talking about Mannequin?
Absolutely. Speaking of smash, this smashed my expectations.
As soon as it started, and it was Egyptian times. By Egyptian, we mean this one leftover set. There's a bunch of white actors pretending to be Egyptians. I was like, it's this sort of movie.
Yeah. Oh my god. So, fun fact. My dad told me he had actually seen this movie, and I was like, my eyes boggled out of my head at this. And he didn't really say he had seen it. He was more like, oh, is that the movie with this and this in it? Like, you know. And I was like, yes. And he was like, oh yeah, that one's been on TV like 5-6 times, and he's picked up clips and stuff from it.
I think Mitch Garling from the Sylvester Stallone episode, he said he saw it on TV as well.
Yeah. There's just, it's one of those movies that's played a lot on TV. And you could tell why.
Yeah. It's an unoffensive...
Yes.
Saturday afternoon TV movie.
Yeah, I would say that if only it weren't slightly offensive.
Oh, it is. Yes.
Yeah, it's unoffensive, but it's still offensive, but it's not offensive enough to get above that sort of radar. It's just, it's low-key offensive throughout.
Low-key offensive is the best way to put it, yeah.
Yeah, it's not like, I don't know how to describe it, but it doesn't make an active joke that this one guy's gay. There's just this very flamboyant gay character throughout this movie. And it's like, I'm not sure what I'm supposed to feel about this.
He had some funny moments.
Oh my god, I laughed so hard at the end where the water stopped out. So there's this scene, we're skipping right to the end.
Yeah.
There's this scene where this flamboyant gay character whose sole purpose is that he's like wacky, and he wears wacky clothes, and he helps style the mannequins, and he helps the good guys with a giant fire hose, and he sprays all the evil security guards, and he's having a grand old time just spraying the boys, and I'm like, oh, what a lad, what a guy, having a grand old time, until the water runs out, and he looks down, and he's just like, shit, and throws it on the ground. Oh my god, I haven't laughed so hard.
He's good. He is good. I like him. He's the only cast member to return in the sequel as well, so...
good on him.
That's good, I guess.
Great. I can't wait.
So, hang on. So, the mannequin is... I can't remember what her name is. She's played by Kim Cattrall.
And what is the start of this movie? Why is this a thing? What?
Because this is based off a Greek myth.
Yes.
Except, I guess the writers were like, well, Greek isn't cool enough. They're Egyptian now.
Yeah, wait. But why? Yeah, no, that's very confusing.
Yeah.
Because I was expecting, Greek, maybe. You get a Greek. That would have made more sense. And made me less mad. But no, it's this Egyptian princess or something.
Yeah, I think so.
Doesn't want to marry anyone. And her mother's like, all right, you're just going to marry this dung merchant. Then. And she's like, no, gods, please save me. And then she gets saved for some godforsaken reason.
By saved, we mean killed? No, turned into
No. Teleported throughout centuries. I don't know. It's very weird.
She's sent into the body of a mannequin, but it seems like it was her choice to pick the guy that made the mannequin.
Throughout the movie, she talks a little bit about this, and we pick up what's sort of happened is that the gods take her, and then she gets to pick a guy, or maybe she talks with the gods and they pick together. They pick a guy, and then he will sculpt her using whatever's available. So they talk about like Michelangelo. He apparently sculpted her at one point.
Yep.
Although it's funny because he was more obsessed with a guy called David apparently, which I thought was great.
That was actually kind of funny. I don't know, I chuckled.
That was, and then she's gone throughout history, and so apparently she's been sculpted as a statue before, but in his case, it was a dummy.
Yes,
like he sculpted her with as a dummy and was guided, and then she turns into a real person, but only for him.
Yes.
When no one else is around.
Yeah, and then eventually she breaks free of that curse somehow and can be
Is it a curse or a gift?
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure she should be less happy to be... Because she seems somewhat immortal.
Yeah.
Beforehand. I don't know, I would have appreciated just like... you're eventually... your boyfriend's gonna die, but if you're immortal... you can just go get a new one, that seems like a pretty good deal. But apparently she just really wanted to stick around.
Guess she really fell in love with, the character whose name is Jonathan Switcher.
Maybe looking into this far too deep. Because this is a very dumb movie that is not intelligent in any way.
Oh, and boy do you know it's dumb. As soon as it starts, you got the Egyptian thing, and I was like, okay, sure. Then it opens with this Bewitched animated opening credits, and I was like...
yes, that's what I was gonna say. Yes, it's exactly like Bewitched cartoony.
Yeah.
And it made me physically cringe. I was like, why?
It was weird. I like Bewitched, so...
Yeah, it brings up a bit of nostalgia for you.
A little bit.
That. Yeah. But I was like, we both were like, it's gotta be one of these movies.
Yeah.
One of these, where they know they're not exactly great, but they're trying. Oh boy, are they trying.
I was kind of worried that it was going to be quite slapsticky at the start as well, because we see that Jonathan is fired from like this mannequin making company, and he becomes this like balloon salesman, and this kid asks for the big balloon, and he's like, all right, kid, have the big balloon, and then the kid flies up into the air because the big balloon was so big. And I was like, is this going to be the whole film?
I pretty much was, to be honest. No, because he's like, what is it? It's the company's balloon?
Yeah.
So he can't give it away, but the kid's like, my dad's paying for this party. You're going to give me that balloon or else.
Yeah.
And so he gives them the balloon and he gets fired. He gets fired from several jobs. One of them's like a hedge clipper.
Yep.
Because he does like art in the hedge. But I feel like that's like a thing. That's kind of like some hedge clippers' jobs.
Yeah, that is a thing.
Yeah, I feel like the movie should have just stopped there and he got that job and that was it. You know?
Kinda.
Because, like, the problem is he does a bad job. But then later on he does really good at art design. So is he good at art design or is he bad at art design? Or is it just his girlfriend? We don't know.
I think he's got some talent, some artistic talent.
But not for, like, carving, just for, like, set design, I guess?
Yeah. And he just needed, like, a push in the right direction, maybe. Because the stuff he comes up with without the mannequin, who's kind of like his muse...
Yeah, if it was just with the mannequin, you could say, well, it's very clearly the lady who's doing all the work. But there are points where he does it without the lady.
Yeah.
So, maybe?
And also, he becomes the window dresser of this place, yet Hollywood, the flamboyant character, that's his job. He's the window dresser. So, is his job now completely irrelevant now that Jonathan is...
Yes.
Dressing, yeah, it is, isn't it? He just comes in and takes his job.
Yes, but I think supposedly he comes in and is like, I think they figured that they're both working at it, so they can both do the job. So they've got two of them now. But I think near the end of the film, I think there's a point where Hollywood's like, well, I'm useless anyway. You're way better than me. I'll just leave. And he's like, no, I'll keep you along. And he's like, nope.
I liked how before he gets that new job and meets the mannequin properly, he has a girlfriend who's the worst. She's so bad that the movie is constantly pairing her up with her boss, and we just get constant scenes of, like, just sexual harassment in the workplace with her being like, oh, you're so silly. And that was the worst part of the film.
She really report him to HR, but anyway... eventually she's like, whatever. Like, she gets used to it, and then eventually they attempt to bat him.
But he can't. Well, this never happens to me. It's that scene.
Yep.
It's that sort of scene you've seen
like,
before.
oh, whoa. But yeah, no, he's definitely the worst character. He's just like, hey, you want to fuck?
That's pretty much. I like the scene where she pushes him down an elevator shaft, though, and he probably hurts himself a lot. I thought that was pretty good. Not an elevator shaft, an escalator.
Oh, right, yeah. And he dies because he just got pushed down an escalator? Yeah.
So they're one of the villains. There's kind of like three bad guys in this film, because there's her... There's a very young James Spader, who works for the opposition, the opposite, like, mall or something. And then there's also the security guard that he's hired.
Well, technically there's four bad guys.
Oh, because then you've got the leader of the
leader
boss
of them all. So you've got the three active opponents of our hero. The businessman, the security guard, and the business lady. And they're all active and or ex-girlfriend.
Yeah.
I think that's a better one. Ex-girlfriend.
Yes.
And they're all actively trying to screw him up. And the leader of them all is this big businessman.
Yeah.
We're going to call him Captain Business.
Captain Business.
I've just come up with that.
I agree.
Yeah, Captain Business is all about making them dosh.
Yeah.
And because this random dude, after saving his boss from a falling sign, gets hired... for them, and then randomly sneaks into the mannequin place to then steal the mannequin, but then dresses it up nicely and then manages to get a job dressing mannequins.
That is our hero's journey, yes.
Whoa. Sorry, I got lost in that story. Where was I? Anyway, Captain Business hates this guy because he's making the other mall earn more money. So he's trying to either hire him or kill him.
Yep.
Kidnap him. I'm not sure.
Yeah, multiple of those things and all. Because he's got photographic proof that our main character is in love with a mannequin.
Yep. Except it's not really, though. I mean, did you see the pictures? There was just, like, a mannequin on top of him, which definitely looks weird.
Yeah.
But, like...
It would cause a scandal, but it's not going to be, like, front page in a newspaper or anything.
Yeah. No, they make a really... let's talk about... They make a really big deal about the storefront and mannequins.
Yes.
Have you seen anyone ever care about the storefront mannequins?
No. Never. I've never walked past a store and seen people, like, stopping and looking at the storefront. It's always just, oh, cool, and then walking past.
Well, I have, but it depends specifically on it, because if it's like a candy shop or something, sometimes they have like crazy mechanisms or something, you know. They have something active that's like, they've had to spend money, time, and effort to build something to grab people's attention, and it's specifically made as an attraction.
Yes.
Unlike mannequins, which are cheap, easy to make, and just display clothing, which you glance at, and you might go, oh, hey, that clothing looks nice.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll go inside and check if that is in my price range, which it never is. But apparently, this guy makes mannequins so spectacular, so insane and crazy that it just brings everyone in to stare at a mannequin sitting in style. Wow.
There's some of them that I could believe, like when he does the cycling one with the moving backdrop. I'm like, I believe people would stop and look at that.
But that one falls into the other thing where, you know, you're spending lots of money and resources. Where did he get the track
Don't know.
to drive them on? The bikes, the background? How did he get all this stuff?
I don't know.
Was it just there? Had they done something like that before?
Well, the boss trusts him completely, so maybe she was just like, do whatever you want, have all the funds you want. We never see that, though.
Yeah, it's very bizarre.
With the mannequin stuff, though, that is the point of the film, is that, he falls in love with a mannequin that only he can see. And it's... The scenes where they're hanging out are just montages, really. And I never really bought them. Their chemistry is not... Like, sometimes it's really good, sometimes it isn't. And I think it's just because they're both pretty decent actors.
Yes. And some of their things are good, some of them aren't. Like the montage where they're trying on all the clothes. That was very dumb. I don't know what was happening there. It was just a montage for the sake of montage. It was funny.
Yeah.
They had some funny things because they put on different clothes and then act differently depending on the clothes. So they had like a noir sort of clothes where he's like a mob boss and she's like a pretty lady.
Yeah, it's got the slick down hair and the pencil mustache.
Yeah, the pencil mustache, like an Italian mobster. There's another one where she's in like a summer thing and she's sitting on the desk and she's stretching out her legs and you're like, whoa. Yep.
Because I guess, like, from a writing point of view, the great... one thing about rom-coms that people like is, them going out, them doing fun things together and going on adventures, except she's a mannequin, so you can only really do that in the mall.
In the mall, yes.
So they've just got, like, 2 montages of that happening.
Yeah, so they're confined to having adventures in the mall. Like, she sits on top of some buttons on a stereo, and the music starts playing, and she's like, whoa, where are all the musicians? Because she doesn't understand how speakers work, and it's like,
She doesn't understand how speakers work, yet she dances in an 80s fashion.
Yes, she immediately just started dancing 80s style, and I'm like, what?
Yeah.
What? They don't even attempt for her to start, like, dancing Egyptian, doing the stereotypical Egyptian one. No. That I would have been down for. She starts doing like that, and he's like, no, try this. And then he starts dancing, and then she joins him? No. Nope. She doesn't even act Egyptian. She speaks perfect English, like... I don't know. Yeah. Where's the law? Where's the integrity of this story? Unbelievable.
Exactly. There's one familiar face in this movie that you probably noticed.
Yes.
And that is...
I did.
The security guard.
Best character in the movie.
Yeah, he's from Police Academy.
You can't go wrong with this guard boy, because as we said, he's in Police Academy.
Yep.
And he was pretty good at Police Academy.
Yep.
I liked it there. His character was very dumb. The movie was pretty dumb, so he didn't get to see the full extent. But he performs just as well in this movie, and I liked him in both of them. So props to him. I like how he has a dog, and then like, just near the end of the movie, they swap out the dog for no reason.
Because he's working at a different mall?
Yeah, but, like, why would that change his dog? What? Why did we got a different dog?
I'm not sure.
Obviously, there's some behind the scenes where they had to swap the dog for some reason.
Yeah, he got into a fight with the dog, and the agent stepped in them, and, like, the dog refuses to be on set with this man. So they had to get him another dog for the remainder of the film.
And I was just like, oh, man, I like the old dog. I was a big fan. Why did they have to swap out to this new dog?
Exactly.
Oh. So that made me rather disappointed that they didn't have, like, the continuous joke of this one dog. No, they swapped to a different dog and make a joke with it. I'm like, didn't like that.
Yeah.
But he's great. Him and the dog are great.
I wrote down a few quotes.
Oh, there's some good quotes.
There's a quote where he says, "My dog's called Rambo. I call him that because he likes to draw first blood." And that was one of the first times when I kind of chuckled during the film. And then he calls his second dog the Terminator.
I wasn't a fan of Terminator.
No.
I mean, the joke is he's like, looks like a more serious dog, and then it fails just as bad as the other dog, but still.
I'll go through some of the other quotes I've got as well, actually. There's one at the very start where he talks to the owner of the store, and she says, "My dad, the last owner, was very old, and he died the way he wanted to, in women's lingerie." That was a quote.
Yep. And then she immediately goes, "Oh, yeah, he worked in, women's lingerie or whatever," and it's like, oh, whatever.
Yeah, there it is. When the mannequin is talking to what's-his-face, she says, "You've got good hands. I like the way they felt when they put me together." And I was like, ugh.
Yep.
Don't like that. And then finally there's a scene where, because apparently everyone in the mall knows that he goes into the bathroom to talk to mannequins. Like, everyone, all the workers are aware of this, and we get one scene where he's in the bathroom talking to the mannequin, and Hollywood, he walks in and he says, "I would never bother you when you're getting a piece of wood, but it's very important. I've got something to discuss with you."
Yep. Haha. Hilarious jokes.
Is there anything else to say about it, really? It ends with...
Yeah. It ends with some great stuff. So we got the water scene as they're running away. It ends with him rescuing her.
Yes.
And this is what I definitely hated about this movie. The ex throws the mannequins onto a track. What are they called?
Like a conveyor belt.
Conveyor
sort of
belt.
thing,
That's
yeah.
the word I'm looking for. A conveyor belt to a grinder. And it's like, oh no, the hero has to save her. But, like, the ex is a real dick in this movie for no reason whatsoever. Like, wow.
It's okay, though. She gets her comeuppance because a stranger kisses her.
Yeah, that's what I was going to bring up. So he tries to save her, and while he's struggling to pull her up so she doesn't get crushed, she turns into a human.
Yeah, the mannequin, not the ex. Yeah, she turns into a human.
And I was just going to say, wouldn't that make her heavier?
Yep, it would.
Like, surely mannequins are much lighter than a human. I would have rated this movie 10 out of 10 if she had just fallen and died because she turned human. That would have been amazing. But no, he manages to rescue her, and then when he does, she stays human even though other people are watching, and it's like, wow, she can be with him forever now. Yay. And then the security guard's like, wow, all these mannequins are turning human. And so he tries kissing a couple of mannequins, and then he digs out the ex, and is like, wow, she's a real human. Thank you, God. And then he tries to kiss her, and she's like, no, get off me, you creep.
Yeah. Oh, dear me.
Yep, that poor lady. But she is a dick, so I guess it's deserved, question mark.
No.
Men are really creepy in this movie.
I liked the scenes at the start, though, where he's just staring lustily at a mannequin before she turns human.
Exactly.
It is funny. It is funny to watch. All right.
Yeah. Are we ready? Oldie, goodie?
Is it an oldie or is it a goodie? I'm gonna go oldie.
Yeah, it's definitely an oldie from me.
Like, it's funny, but I wouldn't...
It had some funny moments, but it's like that classic bad comedy movie.
Yeah.
It's like it's a rom-com. It's just the average rom-com.
Yeah.
Garbage trash with no substance whatsoever. If it had more plot integrity, then I'd be down.
Yeah, like it reminds me of Hunk in that, like, what would have made this a Goodie is if, like Hunk, it just went crazy with the plot. It was like, there's demons and stuff and all this, like, World War III.
It goes ham with that stuff. It has this story where it's like, Satan goes throughout the decades and hires people for his company, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
It's an amazing plot line that they run with. With this, it's like, oh, she was from Egypt and gods exist, I guess. Like, if we were to make this like we made Hunk, God would have appeared. Or like one of the Egyptians, like Ra would have appeared.
And been like, oh, I see that you are now in love, child. I will turn you human.
Yes, which would have been great. Which would have been fantastic. But no.
Or something weird like he's actually a demigod and he's half Ra.
Yeah.
That's why he can see her.
Yeah. Like, they could have done some cool stuff, but they just played it. It's a very safe movie. That's the thing with it. It's very safe.
Well, it was so safe that this movie, guess how much this movie made in America.
Made.
It cost about $8 million.
8 million. I'm gonna guess 25 mil.
42 mil.
Whoa!
It made a lot.
Whoa! That's a lot of money for a movie that's really bad.
It made a lot. Everyone kind of hated it though, so, you know.
Yeah, but I guess it's just a lovey-dovey rom-com movie with special effects. So.
Yeah, it made enough money to get a sequel, which is called Mannequin 2 On the Move. Came out in 91, and we'll probably do it at some point.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
On the Move. What do you theorize is the plot element that makes it on the move? What are they doing?
Well, in the poster, there's a car. So I'm thinking road trip?
Yes. But what does that entail? So do we have the lady from the first movie? Is she...
I think it's the same characters, because Hollywood's back.
But is she, like, permanently human? Does she go re-mannequin again? Like, if she's not turning into a mannequin, what's the point of the movie, right? Because the whole plot line is that she's a mannequin and he's in love with a mannequin.
Oh, it's different. It's different characters.
Oh boy.
Yeah, they're new characters, but Hollywood is back for some reason.
Great. Oh boy.
Oh, it's written by the original director.
Okay.
Oh, and the original director has directed an Australian movie.
Okay.
Except his name's not on it. He's credited as Alan Smithy, the same thing that David Lynch is credited on for Dune, so he must hate the film. And the movie's called The Shrimp on the Barbie, so that's great.
Nice.
Alright, so I guess we'll do that one at some point, because I know the film that we're doing next time, Sorority Babes, has a sequel coming out as well, so we'll probably do them both at some point, but...
Yeah, we might do the second one of that, and the second one of Sorority Babes.
Yeah.
Because apparently there's a sequel to that coming out.
Oh, which looks great.
Come on down to Boost Mobile and turn your tax refund into 6 months of savings?
Nope, all wrong. You're on the radio touting Boost Mobile's 5G network. You gotta use your radio voice, like this. Come on down to Boost Mobile and get 6 months free when you buy 6 months on our best unlimited plans. Now you go.
This is just how my voice sounds.
Just say it like you mean it.
Okay.
Plus, enter to win up to $10,000 and double your tax refund.
Oh my.
Requires upfront payment. Taxes and fees extra. Terms and exclusions apply. Visit boostmobile.com for full offer terms and sweeps details.
Well, shove adamantium into my bones and call me Weapon X, listener, because this is another ad with me, Sally McSeller. And I'm very excited because this month over on patreon.com/oldie-but-a-goodie-pod, Sandro and Zach have teamed up to start a brand new series reviewing every single X-Men movie that ever existed. That's why I did the Weapon X intro. Here's a clip from the first episode.
Sandro, who's your favorite mutant What's your favorite mutant out there? What's one of your favorite mutants?
I mean, technically, Spider-Man did audition for the X-Men at one point. There was a comic book series when he joined the X-Men for a couple missions. He was also a member of the Fantastic Four for some reason. That happened in the 60s. But him being an X-Men doesn't really make sense. He was kicked out at some point, I'm pretty sure. He was there for a little bit.
Because they were like, wait a minute, you just got bitten by a spider. Get the fuck.
He's not a mutant. But, by de facto, yeah, he is my favorite mutant, for sure. Yeah,
Spider-Man?
Definitely
Is your
Spider-Man.
favorite mutant?
100%. Well, that sure sounds like a lot of fun. Traveling back to 2000 for a very different time of superhero movies over at patreon.com/oldie-buddy-goodie-pod, where you can get the bonus episode of X-Men right now, as well as a bunch of other bonus episodes and a bunch of ad-free content as well. Also, early, too. You get main episodes early without ads, and you get bonus content like that episode right there, the X-Men one. You got a bunch of other series you can check out, or just keep following the boys as they review every single X-Men movie. I'm sure all of them are going to be great. I'm sure there's not going to be a bad one amongst them. No siree. Yeehaw! So, that means it's now time for rah, 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 rah. All praise rah, rah, raving reviews.
Ooh, I don't know if my face could cringe harder there. Yikes.
Yeah.
I went like I chomped on a lemon there as she said that. That was, woo.
So the first one I'm going to do is an actual review at the time by Roger Ebert, and I'm just going to say it because I think it's funny, and then I'll go to Letterboxd. So his review is, a lot of bad movies are fairly throbbing with life. Mannequin is dead. The wake lasts 1.5 hours, and then we leave the theater.
Whoa! Whoa!
What do you think he gave that one?
What are the scores? Is it 0.5 to 5?
Yes, it's 0.5 to 4 for him, actually.
Oh, right. Okay. I'll give a 1.
It's half a star!
It is half a star. Okay.
Alright, over to Letterboxd, Dan says, Mannequin Pixie Dream Girl.
1?
2.
Oh, 2!
That one's 2. This one is from Suzanne. It says, the shit I watch for James Spader.
1.5.
That is 2 again, actually.
Oh, damn it.
That's a long one. These are all very long essay reviews.
Yep. That's the struggle when you're going through these reviews. Yep.
This one is from Tay. She says, I recommended my mother The Favourite. Great film. In return, she makes me watch this.
Oh, that sounds like a 1.
That is a 1. That is a 1.
Yeah, there we go. Got that one at least. Got a point. Got on the board.
And finally, I quite like this one. It's from Charlotte, who says, every time the average human should blink, Andrew McCarthy just widens his eyes slightly, so the fact that he doesn't get to play the title role in this is a grievous miscasting.
2.
3, actually. Positive.
I was thinking 2.5, so would have still been wrong.
Well, yeah, that's Mannequin. So,
Wow.
Thank you so much for listening. It was a fun film. The next one is Sorority Babes. We'll be doing that first Wednesday of next month. But before then, we might actually review Godzilla vs. Kong.
Yeah, because apparently Godzilla is coming out, and we might be seeing that.
We are seeing that.
I like Godzilla a lot, and Sandro has wrong opinions, but also likes Godzilla sometimes.
I like Godzilla sometimes. That is correct.
Yeah, am I wrong with that statement? No. It's right in every way. So we have some opinions, and we're going to flex them. We're going to talk about it, and we'll see what we think of the the new movie. Everybody's excited. We want to see Big Lizard versus Big Monkey.
Mm-hmm. Because we are going to the Melbourne premiere for that one.
Woohoo!
And I'm just checking, the embargo lifts Thursday morning, so we might just put it out next Thursday morning.
Yeah,
I guess. As soon as the embargo lifts, we'll just drop it. So yeah.
Absolutely.
Short little new movie review for Patreon. Oh, the film's 3 hours long. Fucking hell.
Yeah. Yeah, but at least I know I'm excited to see that movie, unlike some of the shrivel shit that we've been dumped
Wait,
on our doorstep.
Do you mean for this podcast or for me going to see Tom and Jerry?
Just all of the above. Okay. A lot of it. How do you ruin Tom and Jerry? How does Tom and Jerry ever get bad reviews?
I guess I will also talk about that on the
Absolutely. You gotta tell us your opinions.
So I'm going to the premiere for that. You are not, and I can't convince anyone to come with me.
Wow, that's so weird.
It's so weird.
I don't know why.
Alright, we'll see you then. Thank you so much for subscribing as always. We really appreciate it. We hope you enjoyed the episode, and see you next time.